Welcome to Lesson 4, Exception Handling. In this lesson, we're going to be focusing on how to make your programs more robust by looking for problems that can occur at runtime and then inserting code into your program that deals with those problems when they occur and hopefully enables you to keep your program up and running. Now, as part of introducing the so-called exception handling mechanism, we're going to be introducing the keywords try, throw, and catch, which are used to detect, indicate, and handle exceptions respectively. We're also going to introduce a special block of code called the finally block, which is a block of code that's guaranteed to execute simply because your program flowed into the corresponding try block sequentially. Now, because a finally block is guaranteed to execute, it makes it a perfect location to potentially release resources that you've allocated in the try block. Things like opening files on disk, opening network connections, or possibly opening database connections as well. We're also going to talk about a concept called stack unwinding. The exception handling mechanism is based on the method call stack, and when you actually detect a problem at a particular point in the method call stack, you have the possibility of catching the problem and dealing with it at that point, or the possibility of terminating that method and removing it from the function call stack, which is called stack unwinding, and letting an earlier call in the method call chain actually deal with the problem. We're going to talk about a concept called stack traces as well. Stack traces are error messages that show you the complete method call stack at the time that an exception occurred, and these can be particularly useful for debugging purposes because they help focus you on the part of your program where the problem actually occurred and also help you trace how you got to that point in the program as well. Next, we'll talk about the exception class hierarchy and its superclass type called throwable. And as part of discussing the exception class hierarchy, we're going to actually talk about a concept called checked and unchecked exceptions. As it turns out in Java, there's two major categories of exceptions. The ones that you have to deal with in your program, otherwise the program won't compile. Those are the so-called checked exceptions. And then the ones that you should deal with in your program, but if you don't deal with them explicitly, the program will still compile and run. If something goes wrong at execution time, the program, however, may terminate. So we're going to talk about both categories of exceptions and how to determine for a particular method what exceptions it throws and whether or not you must deal with those types of exceptions. As part of figuring out whether a method throws exceptions, we're also going to take a look at the online Java API documentation and show you how it lists out the potential exceptions thrown by each method in the Java class hierarchy. Finally, we're going to talk about a concept called chained exceptions, which allow you to catch an existing exception and then wrap it in a new exception object so that you can add additional information potentially to help somebody else catch that exception and know how to deal with it.
Looking to advance your career by acquiring new skills? Tired of expensive off-site training programs? Wish you could learn from the best instructors in the industry? Look no further than live lessons. Self-paced, personal video instruction by the world's leading technology publishers. Each live lesson comes with a DVD featuring 3 to 4 hours of instructor-led classroom training, sample program code that allows you to work along with your personal instructor, and an example-rich study guide. Live lessons allow you to watch the entire course from start to finish or navigate directly to any of the individual lessons. You'll literally watch over the shoulder of your instructor as he shows you how to build state-of-the-art applications. Live lessons, the power of the world's leading technology experts at your fingertips. To learn more, visit mylivelessons.com today.